Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Wisdom is like the sharp and far-seeing eye of the eagle, and virtue is like manly arms joined to the nimble legs of a deer. This divine union is vividly depicted in the following fable. Please continue watching to find out more.
Здравствуйте, уважаемые зрители, means hello dear viewers in Russian. I am Andrei. The sincere people of the Altai Republic pray that you hold steadfast to the divine on your journey through life. May God's loving torch light every step you take. Hryhorii Skovoroda was an 18th century philosopher, poet, and composer of religious music. A number of his songs can be found in his writings, and several of them have been adapted to Ukrainian folk music. Skovoroda's work contributed to the culture of both Russia and Ukraine. He is considered to be one of the key philosophical figures during the transition from the Middle Age to the modern time. His work also revealed a deep belief in godliness and a life of spiritual rather than material value. Skovoroda's writings are in Socratic dialogue form and are genuinely imaginative, witty, dramatic, and always have a theme that highlights happiness and appreciation of life. He has been called a Socrates both as a moralist and one whose work is intended to stimulate thought and self-introspection. Three days prior to his death, Skovoroda went to stay with one of his closest friends. Each day he left the house, and it was discovered that he was digging his own burial place beneath a tree. On the third day, he announced that his time had come and he simply lay down and passed away. At his request, his epitaph said, "The world tried to capture me, but didn't succeed." In recognition of his works and numerous contributions, Hryhorii Skovoroda's portrait was printed on the second largest banknote in circulation in Ukraine, the 500 hryvnia note. We now share with you excerpts from his writings on a conversation among 5 travelers concerning life's true happiness. Wisdom. Wisdom is like the sharp and far-seeing eye of the eagle, and virtue is like manly arms joined to the nimble legs of a deer. This divine union is vividly depicted in the following fable. A traveler, in passing through many countries and kingdoms, lost his legs. He then thought of returning to his father's house. Supporting himself with his arms and hands, he made his way back, but with enormous labor. Finally, when he had crawled to the top of a mountain from which he could see his father's house, he lost his arms and hands as well. From that spot, his sharp eyes gazed with merry desire across the rivers, forests, and cliffs, across the summits of the pyramid-like mountains at the castle. Gleaming from afar, that was the house of his father and of his whole peace-loving family, the end and crown of all his travelers' labors. But the misfortune was that our seer, having neither arms nor legs, merely tormented himself like the rich man in the Gospel story as he looked upon Lazarus. However, glancing back, he unexpectedly glimpsed a strange and pitiful sight. A blind man was stumbling as though he were drunk along the road, listening intently, probing with his cane, now to the right, now to the left, and straying off the road. As he came closer, he sighed, "Our days are spent in vanity. O Lord, tell me of your paths. Alas, of my wanderings there is no end." And he spoke other words of this kind to himself, sighing as he repeatedly stumbled and fell. "My friend, I fear that I may frighten you, but who are you?" asked the man of clear vision. "This is the 34th year of my journey, and you are the first to cross my path," answered the man whose eyes were darkened. "My journeying in many parts of the world has turned into exile. The extraordinary heat of the Arabian sun deprived me of my sight, and I am returning blind to my father." "And who is your father?" "He lives in the mountain castle which is called Mirgorod. His name is Uranus, and mine is Doer." "Good heavens, you don't say! I am your brother," cried the sighted man. "My name is Seer." Extraordinary happiness always finds expression in tears. After a copious shedding of tears, the blind man, his eyes still damp, spoke to his brother as follows. "Dearest brother, I have heard about you, and now I see you with the eyes of my heart. Take pity on me, put an end to my sorrows, be my teacher. In truth, labor gladdens me, but this constant stumbling drains away all my strength." "I am sorry," said the man of radiant eye, "that I cannot serve you, my beloved brother. As a traveler, I have traversed the whole circuit of the earth on my own 2 legs. They carried me everywhere without mishap, but the craggy mountains that I encountered on my path took them from me, so that I had to continue my journey on my arms and hands. At this place I have lost them as well. Now I can neither walk nor crawl upon the earth. Many people have wished to employ me, but since I am unable even to crawl, I could be of no use to them." "That is not the end of the matter," said the blind man. "You are a light and precious burden to me. I shall carry you, my treasure, on my back. Let your clear eyes be the eternal masters of my body, and the head to all my members. Put an end to the torment of this primordial darkness that hounds me inhumanly along the empty path of the body's distractions. I am your steed. Mount upon my shoulders and guide me, dearest brother and master." "I shall mount up willingly, my brother, in order to show the truth of the word of God written by the author of Proverbs. Brother helped by brother is like a firm and tall city, strong like a well-founded kingdom. Now, look at God's wondrous work. 2 men are made one. One traveler is created from 2 kindred souls, without any fusion of the 2, but also without division into each other's servants. This unprecedented traveler follows the central path, turning neither to the right nor to the left, readily crossing rivers, forests, crevasses, and cliffs, passing over sheer mountains, and climbing with joy to the height of the peaceful city. There he is, surrounded by radiant and fragrant air, an orderly crowd of inhabitants, breathing peace and love and clapping their hands, await him at the gate. And within the gates, Uranus himself, ancient of days, receives him into his holy embrace. Nature and happiness. Nature, our most merciful mother and the father of all our pleasures, has opened the path to happiness to all creatures that breathe without exception. But the trouble is that we do not try to find out precisely where happiness lies. We grab and clutch what merely presents an attractive appearance as though it were a firm foundation. Lack of counsel is the source of our unhappiness. It makes us prisoners, representing the bitter as sweet and the sweet as bitter. That would not happen if we took counsel with ourselves. Let us judge, my friends, and mend our ways. It is never too late to begin a good work. Let us seek that in which our strength lies. Let us take thought which prayer is sweetest to God. Tell me what you consider best. If you find it, then you will also find happiness, and at the same time will be able to acquire it. Picture to yourself the countless number of those who will never know plenty, the sick and the old, and call to mind those who are born with crippled bodies. Surely you do not think that nature, our most merciful and solicitous mother, has behaved like a stepmother and has slammed the door to happiness in their faces. I beg you, do not confine God's all-wise providence within narrow limits. Do not slander nature's omnipotent mercy. Nature is good to every creature that breathes, not just to a chosen few members of the human race. In her diligent providence she has prepared all those things without which the happiness of the lowliest worm cannot be accomplished, and if anything is lacking then, of course it is superfluous. The mole has no eyes, but what does that matter? Birds know nothing of shipbuilding, but they have no need of such knowledge. Whoever needs it knows it. The lily knows nothing of manufacture. It is beautiful without it. Gracious viewers, thank you for your company on today's excerpts from A Conversation Among 5 Travelers Concerning Life's True Happiness by Hryhorii Skovoroda, vegetarian, on Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is a delightful Mid-Autumn Festival 2019 Part 2 of 4, right after noteworthy news. May your spiritual journey be guided by the light of the heavens. Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
برنامه‌های ما شامل زبان‌های بسیاری است. از این وبسایت‌ها دیدن فرمایید: suprememastertv.com/schedule و suprememastertv.com/WOW.